Hello YouTube, we are back for another installment of the Wiz Comics 58. I am hot and heavy to get this book done, and as indicated in the last upload, I cannot repair the inner wraps because of the paper in the state that it is in. And the reason being is the staple rust actually bled through to the paper, making this paper, in my opinion, not a good base for either tear seals or leaf casting. We want to do a nice job for James, don't we? James is a great guy, and I respect the books that I work on. I do. I respect them. I have a great feeling for them, that I want to preserve them for the future, and I want to do it in an honest and ethical way. So what I'm doing now is I am destroying the book, maybe in someone's opinion a little bit, to make it better. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my dental tool and I'm gently scraping away the paper that was affected by the rust. And as you can see, look how easy it just came off, because it's weak, it's not in good shape. And as I indicated in prior uploads, if you work on cars and automobiles and there's rust in the metal, you don't paint over it. It would be a silly maneuver to do that, because it's just going to deteriorate more in the future. So you want to remove the rust, and that's basically what I did here in relation to the centerfold. We want to make this centerfold nice and strong so we can leaf cast it. Now, I also revamped my leaf casting pulp formula. I am no longer going to use any type of Japanese mulberry paper in the pulp. What I was experiencing is that the fibers were too long, they were not breaking up to my satisfaction. And in lieu of the Japanese mulberry paper, I am going, and I did use basic newsprint, because newsprint was used in making the inner wraps and covers for the books in question, and newsprint is what I'm going to replace it with. In addition to using the newsprint, I also did my blends of colors in the pulp, because you just can't use newsprint because it will be gray. And I successfully made a different formula for my pulp that I'm going to use for this inner wrap, and I tested a piece out, and I have to say I am extremely happy with the consistency of this pulp. Thank you, James. I'm using your book for Lab Rat 2, and it is going to be a significant game changer when I turn around to do the Action Comics. So let's set up the suction table, and then let's do some leaf casting. And I have to leaf cast each one of the inner pages. It's going to be a very labor-intensive task, but I want to make this book as best as possible, so let's get right to it. Okay guys, we are back. So what we're going to do now is we're going to leaf cast the actual centerfold of the book after removing the paper that was manipulated by the rust on the staple. We want to get rid of that. We don't want that. So I'm pouring right now the pulp into my squeeze bottle, and I'm happy with the mixture that I made. I think I matched it up pretty good. If I'm off a little bit, James, I apologize, but I'm testing out a new mixture using newsprint instead of the Japanese mulberry paper, which I think it's a better fit and is more flexible. So what we got here is the cover. I rinsed it between 2 pieces of Rame. This is another pickup that I recently got. This is very very thin plastic. So what I want to do is I want to put that on the actual paper itself, as you can see, because I'm going to use this as a form in relation to the spine, because I want to try my best not to get it on any of the graphics. Now, before I used to use, if you recall, the craft foam. It's a little too thick. This is what conservationists use. I'm stepping up my game a little bit. Okay, guys, so what we're gonna do now is I am going to put the actual suction on, and we're gonna leaf cast this. Then we only have about 30 more pages to do. And I am not complaining, believe me. Okay, so cover your ears if loud noise affects you. Okay, guys, I don't know if you picked it up, but I did put pulp over areas that were not at issue. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to try to blend it in as best as I could. And that is a method by which hopefully the leaf casting that I did will fit nicely into the paper. What does that mean? I'm talking about, I want to make it where it's just not one little area that is leaf casted, or the piece of paper that I took out with my dental tool. I want to make it where it blends in to the whole spine, reinforcing it. So hopefully I was able to do that with this method. Okay, and That's all she wrote. That's all I'm gonna do. And the next step is I'll take off the craft foam surround, and then what we're gonna do is we will blot it, and hopefully I put enough on. I don't wanna go crazy with putting a lot of pulp on it because we don't wanna make it too thick. So then we'll place this down like that. And then it's basically just blotting, and it is a method by which we keep on doing the same thing for each page until we finish the interior. Then we can put this book back together and give it back to James, or give it to James. James never had it. So that's it, YouTube. I am gonna work on each page just like I did, and next time you see me in relation to this book, hopefully it will all be put back together. So stay tuned, YouTube, and thanks for stopping by.